a slide in this room. It is interesting to know Queen Elizabeth II was the first person to slide down the slide when the ship was first made. Now, it is also no coincidence that our first class children's nursery is located right next to our adults first class nursery, the Observation Bar. The Observation Bar is a semicircular shaped room. It is located right here at the fort in a promenade deck. It is most famous for its artwork, starting with the hand railing or balustrade. You will see mythological beasts intermixed with beer barrels. Now this beer barrel theme, it does carry over to the bar. If you take a look at the bar from a distance, it looks like the bottom half of a very large beer barrel, done by a man named Austin Crompton Roberts. Now just above the bar, there's a painting entitled The Royal Jubilee Week. It represents King George V's 25th anniversary as king, done by a man named Alfred Thompson. Now it's interesting to know, Alfred Thompson, he did paint himself inside of his own painting. He is a man with a white hat and the green pants. So when we walk through the bar, let me know if you spot him. But before we walk through, I must mention, if this bar looks at all familiar to any of you guys, it is a very popular Hollywood set. They did film many movies in this bar, including Being John Malkovich with John Malkovich, The Aviator with Leonardo DiCaprio, What Women Want with Helen Hunt and Mel Gibson, Out to Sea with Jack Lemmon, and most recently, He's Just Not That Into You with Scarlett Johansson and Jennifer Aniston. So please follow me through the bar. Got your ID ready?
And get some more water. Yeah. Ooh, ghost sighting.
Now did we get everybody through the bar? Usually I lose about half my group on this part. Now if you guys take a look over here on the port side, you'll see a room that has a piano in it. That piano, it is original to our ship. This area would have been our first class musical rehearsal room. Now first class passengers like actors, actresses, politicians could even come in here to rehearse. Most famous of them all would be Sir Winston Churchill himself. He could be seen rehearsing speeches for hours at a time in this area. He would also paint some of his artwork in that area too. Then the walls in here are also soundproof. So please follow me right this way. Now, after World War II, just a few changes and refits were made here to the main hall. One of these changes being the indirect lighting fixture you see here today. It is 262 feet in length. It wraps around the entire main hall and it contains 524 lamps. This piece of edge cross lighting is 5 feet in diameter and it weighs 400 pounds. The two-tone leather paneling you see here today originally would have been a chestnut oak wood. Right this way, please. Now here you will see 3 ships that are docked in the New York Harbor. This one is a ship we are on today, the RMS Queen Mary. Right next to her is another Cunard ship. This would actually be her sister ship, the RMS Queen Elizabeth. Now in this picture you'll notice, her sister, the Queen Elizabeth, is in fact larger than the Queen Mary. At that time, the Queen Elizabeth was the largest ship in the world. However, the RMS Queen Mary was the fastest ship in the world. She would beat the Normandy speed record. She would beat the Normandy and she would break a speed record of 31.9 knots before World War II. That's an estimated 40 miles per hour out on open Atlantic water. That's very fast for a ship this size. She would hold the Blue Ribbon, which is a trophy for being the fastest ship in the world, all the way up until 1952 when it was taken from her by the SS United States. Now the decks we are walking along here, this deck is an original teak wood from 1936. The riches of the rich walked along these decks, as well as the poorest of the poor when it came down to war times. Now a couple of interesting stories about these decks. As a boxer in 1955 known as Floyd Patterson could be seen boxing along these decks, training in the mornings with his coach. A track runner known as Lord Berlin. Well, at this time, Lord Berlin was training for the Olympics. He wanted to prove to everybody that he was the fastest man on this ship. Not only did Lord Berlin think he was the fastest man on the ship, but he thought he was the fastest man in this world. Now, our promenade deck here does go a quarter mile in length. It wraps around the entire length of the ship. Lord Berlin would take a full sprint around the entire promenade deck in just under 60 seconds. What's even more interesting about this lap is he did it in a full tuxedo and dress shoes right after dinner.
Hey, look, they had Starbucks back then, too.
Yeah, I used to make that joke on my tour, but I got in trouble for saying it because people started believing it.
Yeah. Seattle's best. It was the very first Starbucks. What wasn't on the ship? No.